Hello my quilting friends, my name is Leah Day and we are quilting through a new row in our free motion quilting practice panel. This is Ribbon Candy, or I sometimes call this Lacy Lattice. And we are actually going to be filling this line in with both rocks and pebbles. So let's first stitch underwater rocks. This is basically stitch a circle and then we're going to spin around it 2 or 3 more times. This gives it kind of a messy echo. We're not aiming to do this perfectly. We're aiming to just get practice making that shape, that nice circle shape, stacking them together. So it is intentionally messy. It is intentionally going to be lots and lots of thread going on our quilt. And the goal here is simply practice. And also, I think it looks pretty cool, actually. This is a design that I will use on my quilts, especially my art quilts. It fills in densely. It adds a really big punch of texture to your quilts. And the greatest thing is, it is awesome for practicing circles. And with circles and pebbles, our goal is never really a perfect circle. It's always just whatever fits. So sometimes these can be a little bit oblong, they can be more oval. It doesn't really matter. If you're trying for a perfect circle, that's going to drive you crazy. But the circle shape itself can be challenging to stitch. So you see that I have my frame weight here on the frame. It's putting pressure here on my machine bed. That's what that little tube of things, it's a tube of BBs, and it's putting weight down on the frame, on the machine underneath the quilt, and that's giving me a little bit more stability and control. I feel like I'm travel stitching a lot better than I expected. And you might be looking at this going, well, that's pretty messy, Leah, but really, in all honesty, I'm very, very pleased with it. So that is half the design. I'm going to fill this in with underwater rocks all the way down. These messy echoes, getting lots and lots of practice stitching these circle shapes. So now we're filling in the other half of the design, and this is with pebbling. This is just stitching a circle shape, oval, circle, half circle, quarter circle shape, whatever you can fit. And then you don't do all those extra swing arounds. Instead, you're just going to travel stitch carefully along the edge of a previous circle shape or your outline in order to get to the next one. This is careful stitching, and be careful not to grip your handlebars too tightly. I find myself doing that a lot, and that really doesn't help. That just ends up hurting your hands. Instead, consider adding a little extra weight to your frame in the form of a frame weight like this. This is pressing down an extra pound of pressure onto my machine bed underneath my needle. So that is helping me have a little bit more control. Without it, I would not be able to travel stitch this well. And it is slow and steady, no matter whether you're quilting on a frame or you have your machine in a table. Pebbling is always going to be a design that is slow and steady, careful stitching. And again, be careful not to clench your hands into fists. Swing around with the biggest circle shape you can fit in an area. That's going to keep your quilt soft, and that's also going to minimize the number of pebbles that you have to stitch. That kind of helps. So that's it for this design. Enjoy filling in half of it with our rocks and the other half with our pebbles. So that's it for this video. I hope you learned a lot and you're excited about giving this design a try. You can find this free motion quilting starter panel in our free motion quilting starter kit. Come and pick it up at leahday.com/FMQ start. Until next time, let's go quilt.